And if anybody asks for it, well, I'll have it. Um, so I just want to open up with, does anybody have any questions to get started with? Anyway, hi, Kara. You don't have to unmute if you don't want to. I know it's early for some folks. Okay. Okay. So what I thought we would do today is focus on the shortcuts and specifically the sundial. So I'm just going to read a little bit for you from the shortcuts chapter, and then we'll get started. So chapter one. Oh, and by the way, the hi Kara, the Audible, which I can do whatever the fuck I want because it's my book, but I haven't released the Audible yet. I mean, some of you have the YouTube version, but hey, Roz. Uh, but then the Audible that Katie Dwyer and I made is very nifty because it has the songs woven in, the acapellas, then the radio ready songs. Anyway, so I'm excited about that as a release and also as a tool for other musicians who might want to release an EP that want to weave a story through it, how you might do that and, how I could help with that. But anyway, that's, another story or whatever. So good morning, Roz, welcome. And I'm going to start, I'm going to just read a little bit of the shortcut chapter and we're going to go over the shortcuts. And please interrupt me or ask questions because this is kind of a circle-y thing, not necessarily just me teaching thing. But I do want you to leave with a clear understanding of what the Cindershine sundial is and how to use it. And that's my purpose for today. So chapter one I don't know, I don't have I haven't gotten my author copies yet. So my pages are not numbered. I don't know if your pages are, if you have the book, but this might be the worst, and that's okay. You can't pretend that bad shit hasn't happened or doesn't happen, but how long you sit in it is really up to you. When I started cancer treatment, I had 9 rib fractures, a sacrum, a sternum, and an L3 fracture, plus cancer. Hey, Julianne. I woke up alone and hurting every day and thought, I don't want to live like this. And then after a bit, I would think, oh, fuck, if I'm going to live another day, might as well make it a good one. And that was, of course, my optimist taking over. And this is where the shortcuts came in for me. Shortcuts for a better day, a better life. And they work whether you have cancer or not. And they don't work without you. It's crazy to have this much energy this early in the morning, isn't it? So the first shortcut is ask a better question, get a better answer. And I remember in the 80s, at some point, I woke up one morning and thought, did I really order those Tony Robbins cassette tapes in the middle of the night? And I did, in fact. But I remember his teaching, ask a better question, get a better answer. And, and you never want to ask, why is this happening to me? Because your brain will give you an answer for that. And through the years, in my coach training and other things, I learned the importance of a question. So a question really directs your brain to find the answer. And brains are amazing things. They will find an answer. So this is like one of the questions you could ask when something happens is like when I dropped my motorcycle on my foot a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't pretty and it was embarrassing as well. But it landed right on my foot and and I was like, yeah, anyway, it was in a class. But I remember a teacher of mine once falling and breaking something. I don't remember what she broke, but in the ambulance ride on the way to the hospital, she was asking herself, oh, I wonder what good is going to come from this shitty looking thing. So that's a great question because it's not like you're saying, it's not like you're burying your head in the sand, but saying, I wonder what good might come from this shitty looking thing is a way of meeting yourself where you are. But your brain gets a jump start on looking for what good might come from the shitty looking thing. So that's a great shortcut question. Um, when I got diagnosed, I was in communication with a coach of mine, Gina Gabellini, who Roz knows, and she would tell this story of her twin brother dying suddenly, and the grief was just overwhelming. And she's an optimist as well, and a believer in creating reality. And she asked herself eventually, after a few weeks or a month, I wonder if this is the best thing that ever happened to me. And so I just hopped on that question early on as soon as I got diagnosed. And then, I know you guys from my music world. Like I just somehow I got into this music world. So would I be there without cancer? I don't think so. So is it the best thing that ever happened to me? Yes, so far. I love this music world I'm in. So I'll take it, you know. Um, and then I also used to ask myself, and this I've used often in my journey, what would make living more appealing than dying? And, you know, if you're not terminal, well, everybody is, but if you're not immediately terminal, you could just say, what lights me up? And get an answer to what lights me up instead of what makes living more appealing. That's pretty traumatic. So what lights me up, and get a moment in that, and then wonder, do I have enough of that in my life? Do I want more? And you don't have to know how, you don't have to know when, you don't have to know anything, really. You just have to know, oh yeah, I'd like more of that in my life. And the shortcut for that is, what would it feel like to have more of that in my life? Hopefully it would feel good if you want it. So the trick to that is, well, I think this is the trick to life anyway. It's just, we want what we want because we believe in the having of it. We'll be happy. So just get fucking happy. But that's a little cavalier. So tune up from where you are and try to feel what it would feel like to have that thing that lights you up. You'd be lit up. Wouldn't that be cool? And then other lit up people would say hi as they were passing you on the road of life, and you'd just be around lit up people, which happens in the music world, right? Okay. And then here's another shortcut. Keep your eye on what's going right. Then more going right things can show themselves to you, right? So this is focus. And there's a million ways to do this. There's a million people that tell you how to do this. And my trick for this, first of all, I feel lousy because I've trained myself to look for the good in everything. When I'm not doing that, I feel lousy. So that's my cue. And I just give you a quick example. I got involved with this, and I'm not sure what my involvement's going to be, but I'm involved with this little music thing that I found out about in Napa. And they give grants to artists. And then they had a listening lounge, and it was sort of a last minute thing. And I applied with a video, and they didn't choose me. And I'm like, fuck you, And like sour grapes and fuck you. And fuck you feels a little better than sour grapes, by the way. But that's not the energy I walk around in, that's so I was like, well, okay. So I tried to tune that up, and then I was volunteering at this event anyway. And truthfully, I've just realized that I think they're aiming for younger people and non-white people. And so, I don't fall into those categories. However, I do remember being in my music community and being called OG Cindershine. That's where I got my name, Cindershine. And people would call me OG, and I'm thinking, does that mean old gal? But it means original gangsta.
I love that.
Yeah. So I just, if I want to be in that community, I'm just going to be OG Cindershine and see if it's a community I want to be involved in. And not everybody wants to, you know, write songs that, to me, I think, anyway, I don't want to get into songwriting. Anyway, so I had to really look at, in that situation, I really had to keep looking for what's going right instead of like thinking, well, that person sings off key and that person doesn't know how to write song. Like, I'm sort of sitting at that judgmental. Um, and then, but then, you know, I remembered the OG Cindershine thing. And if I want to be part of this community, it would probably be contributing, maybe not, you know, on a level of wisdom. I mean, maybe they want somebody with the wisdom I have. Maybe not. I don't care. So I don't feel sour grapes and I don't feel angry anymore. I'm sort of in my, this is my comfort zone. So my comfort zone is optimistic, you know, and upbeat. And it's important for you to know where your comfort zone is. If you're a pessimist, if you know, if you look for the unright thing first, fine, just be with that and say, oh, yeah, this is pretty shitty, and what might be a little better, and what might be a little better. And I don't use the word depression, but I use the words gloom and doom standstill. If you're ever at a gloom and doom standstill, aim for pessimism first and then optimism, because you can't go from really shitty to blissful in one fell swoop. You gotta step it up a little at a time. So small steps. So when you're looking for something going right, I recommend that you do the Cindershine sundial. And do you guys know what that is?
Yeah. Not really.
All right, I'm going to tell you. I should have had it ready to show you. Okay, I have a pen. I have this. I don't know if you can see this cute little card. I have a person. She sent me a note, and on it, she sent this to me the day my book came out, and on it is these little. Each little typewriter key has a little sparkle on it. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to draw a Cindershine sundial. See, I can't even talk, on the back of this card, and then we'll talk about it and we'll fill it in together. So let's see. Can you see that? No. Can you see that? No. Hold on. I can't see it. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna.
It's just blurring a little bit. I think the background blurs.
Yeah, I'm gonna unblur my background. Maybe that will help. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So take a blank piece of paper if you have one in front of you, and draw that. Okay. And this is a way of keeping your focus on something going right, because you put something going right. Can everybody think right now of something going right in this moment? It could even be that you're sitting in this room, you know, or it could be a cloud. It could be that your pillow felt great this morning, or your blankets, or, you know, just try to keep it really simple, really in the moment, and put the going right thing in the middle of the circle. I'm putting coffee because that's top of mind for me right now. Of course, you guys, but yay. Okay. So once you put something going right in the middle, then you fill in each sun ray with something that points back to that, like coffee is, and you don't make this harder. Coffee is my thing. Oh, it tastes so good. Okay, I'm putting that in one. Okay. And it fucking works. I'm putting that in another. And I like it when my brain wakes up. And when my brain wakes up, I have a chance to focus. And I'm just making this up as I go. And then I'm a good focuser. So I'm putting that in. And we all are good focusers. rock fuel. The yeah, you're a good focuser, so you can put that in your sundial if you want. Now, it depends what you're focusing on, but we're all focusing on something all the time. So you can write, you can keep that. I'm a good focuser. Mm. And I'm going to put, I like feeling good. I love how coffee helps me feel good. And I also appreciate that I drink coffee no matter what. Even, even in the hospital, they make you coffee. Uh, and and I'm more flexible about it than I used to be. So I'm going to put that down. And I have one more sunray about coffee. I love my coffee mugs.
And it tastes good.
It tastes good. So for the minute it might take to do the sundial, there's momentum going in good feeling. And if it feels shitty to do the sundial, back away from it. That's it. You're done then, right? Because sundials should feel good. So does anybody want to share a little bit about what they put and how it felt to do it?
I can.
Go ahead. Thanks, Kara.
Sure. Yeah. So I've had a really tremendous summer, but full of tons of pushes, but for amazing things. And I hit my major wall of exhaustion this week. And the kind where I'd been chugging pots of coffee and it wasn't working anymore. And then I ended up feeling too acidic from the coffee and it was like blah. And then I couldn't sleep from too much coffee. And when I really needed this a couple nights to like restore for the next big push. And remarkably, last night, I had one of those magical sleeps. And I woke up and my skin felt so soft. And I felt so relaxed into my blankets and my sheets this morning. And it was like the most perfect temperature balance. So that kind of relaxed, sleepy peacefulness is in the middle of my dial this morning. And it was 1,000 bajillion% what I needed. And so the little rays are that it started my day with this deep calm. It's that deep calm that in the world that I love of just being a crazy creative running around between things, I really crave that deep calm sometimes. And I got that this morning and I'm still feeling it very much. Just that it was, yeah, I think the other elements that I already said were kind of interjected into the rays, but I'm
Thank
still
you.
just feeling that so much today.
Can you guys feel that when and by the way, okay, I have to take a moment to just coach. You didn't have to tell the 30 seconds of what sucked,
Yeah.
right? Because you can, that's a shortcut too. When you drag in what didn't feel good, even for a moment, you can make it feel shitty. Like
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
so just and then we felt you switch, and all that stuff around the sundial was great. And so that feeling, and I don't know, but I felt it. And I was like, oh yeah, I woke up, I love waking up when the temperature's just right and blah, blah, blah. So you brought us all with you. Thank you.
Awesome. And thanks for the reminder of no backstory. It's so easy to just be programmed to do that when it's not
You
necessary.
don't have to justify your
Yeah.
feel good ever.
Right.
Just,
Right.
yeah, and it's great. Thanks for helping us say that. Who else wants to share? Ginger, hi, we're doing sundials.
Sure, I'll go.
Okay. Jeff, I call him the mayor. Didn't I give you that? I gave you that title, didn't
I was officially named the mayor, yes. I think because I was diplomatic when providing feedback to people when I took over Nick's class. But
Right.
yeah, so this morning I went for a run and I said, felt good to have completed the task. It's good for my singing, helps stress relief.
Good.
That's what I got.
Good. And So I'm just going to give you a little more if you wanted to say more, like when you put, uh, I completed this task, right? You could
Yeah.
write a few rays about what it feels like, and it doesn't have to be a big deal, but my energy feels lighter when I complete a task. You know what I mean? Like you could, so
Sure.
so
Feeling behind it, yeah.
yeah. So that's a little trick, by the way, that I give later on in the love chapter, because appreciation to me is the same as love without all the drama. And so you can be grateful, or, like I completed a task. And then what 5 things do you appreciate about that? And then what does it feel like, or whatever. And then what was the other thing you said? Complete the task and
Well, running helps my stress, lower my like base level stress.
right. And
So yeah,
so running makes me feel good. And then like
yeah,
Kara, you could leave out the I mean, you could say it brings my stress down, but then on the next one you might think, oh yeah, and I feel better, you know, and I feel better, and this is how I feel better. And so and that's how, by the way, because I know all you guys a little bit, how you kind of move yourself more in uh into feeling better for just that minute that you're doing the sundial. um Ginger, my book doesn't have page numbers, but we're in the chapter in the first part about shortcuts. That's what we're doing, and we're doing a sundial, so have at it. Anybody else like to share a sundial?
Okay, I'll do one.
Okay.
I got that. I am loving my fiction. I've started, songs don't give me enough time to play with long words, so I've been doing some fiction writing too. So it's a good distraction from a lot of things that might be bringing me down. It makes my heart happy, keeps the creative flow going. Others follow the progress because it's technically it's a fan fiction. It's not the smutty kind, it's the kind with a plot. But so,
Like a little smut.
there's no pressure of having to publish it because it's just for fun. And anything can happen. I can correct all the things that were wrong in the original plot of whatever and make it all happy however I want. And
I love
that's
that. I love, and anything can happen is a great thing. And any one of those, like sundials could go on forever, but any one of those rays, you could then put in the middle, like
oh, that's cool.
a couple of things that you said, I thought, oh, that could go in the middle, and that could go. And Jeff is the same thing. Like my stress level is lower, could go in the middle, and then you write the rays about that. And again, if it feels like too much, like when you hit the like, oh, this feels like work instead of fun or whatever, sundialing should feel good. And let's hear one more. Do we want to hear one more sundial? Anybody? And okay, well, you don't have to. And then okay, I'm going to just tell you about the fuck you sundial. Okay, in case you don't have the don't choke on your coffee. In case you don't have the book, so the fuck you sundial is for when you're really feeling stuck. Okay, and then you put, like when I tuned up the fuck you for not choosing me thing, and like, you don't know what you're missing and all that, all that shit that goes around. But the fuck you sundial has 3 steps. And the second step is, so the first step is kind of fuck you, putting it out there, what it is, and then looking at it, right? And then the second step is nothing's going right about this. Write that. Nothing's going right about this. And then all your rays would point to why it's not going right. And you don't want to say everything is wrong, just a little point of whatever, nothing's going right. And then the third step in the fuck you sundial is this one thing. This one thing is going right. And for me, I ended up having a good outfit because I never know what I'm going to wear. Anyway, so that was how I got out of the fuck you. I had a good outfit and I felt good about myself. And I just, because I have to remember who I am when I'm walking into something that makes me a little uncomfortable. So, yeah. So the fuck you sundial is for the hardest days or for the people who are in the doom and gloom standstill. It's not necessarily for you optimists. And even pessimism is a little easier than sometimes you can put a pessimistic thing and then tune it up, watch how the rays will tune it up for you. Yeah, it can take a minute for something good to surface. Yep. And you can't fool the universe, right? Like, yeah, sometimes, you just go down the tubes because that's as good as it gets right this minute. And, you can always do that. And I wanted to say a little bit about friendship or coaching. If somebody's down the tubes, that's okay. It's okay for them to be down the tubes. Empathy might have you go down the tubes with them. And then there's two people down the tubes. So try to stay in compassion mode, which means you're present without trying to fix, without trying to talk anybody into anything, just being present as your connected best self. Be steady, okay? And steady doesn't mean trying to fix or trying to pull anybody up where you are. You have to stay where you are. And that is how you support your friend who's down the tubes. I mean, thanks. And I believe that's how we support the world, by the way. Because right now the world is our friend and it's, down the tubes, a lot of it. So how we stay supportive in my mind is to stay steady in your connection to source, basically, whatever you believe in. Because there's shit that makes the sunrise and sunset. And that's where I lay my connection into. Anyway, I think that's all I want to say about all that for today. And I want to try to finish right on time. So for now, I would like everybody to say one word or one sentence that is up for you right this minute. And I'm going to start in my view with Kara.
So one word can you describe a little more, just feeling
just one word that
right
comes
now,
to mind. One word that comes to mind for you right now, or one word that you want to.
Yeah, I think and you're a part of this, but just sunshiny, I think. Just, I'm excited about my day. My sundial thing just is a really nice way to start the day, and your presence and all that you share with all of us is remarkable. So thank you.
Thanks. Julie, I have you next in my grid.
Anything can happen.
I love Jeff.
I don't know how to say this in one word, but I'm sort of having a spiritual moment at the moment where I'm confronting a lot of things, but I feel I can sense that life is going to get good soon. So I guess hope, maybe hope. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. And by the way, I just want to speak to that for just a moment. When you, for me, when I look out and I see the trees and the sky and they fill me, I know I'm connected to source and all's well. So look at the trees because, that can be a good moment. Okay. Ginger, okay, I'm feeling peaceful. Thank you. Meryl.
I always loved when you talked about the trees because I feel exactly the same way. And I didn't know what to expect from today, but this has been very nice. I'm getting all choked up now. I love you.
I love you too. I've known Meryl since we were in grammar school, by the way. Roz, can you unmute for a second or drop in the chat?
Mhm.
Love to hear your voice.
Yeah. So one of my favorites is How Can I Get Any Better Than This? And thank you, Cinder. This is awesome.
Thanks. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to do this for the next 3 weeks. We're going to go through the book a little bit. So please come back and tell your friends if you want, or just be all of us. But I'm going to show up on this Zoom. It'll be the same Zoom. And if you need anything, let me know in between. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. See you around the galaxy.
Take care.